Welcome to Compleat KiDZ Online, friendly discussions about autism and other developmental disabilities. Learn how working together is working better, one conversation at a time.
Hello, welcome to Compleat KiDZ Online. I'm Gina.
And I'm Bob.
And we are joined by a very special guest today who comes from a faraway land.
True.
Slovakia.
No.
Slovenia.
Slovenia. It's just not the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Well, probably I consider them kind of like brothers or something.
Oh, okay.
But we are a bit more southern, on the Mediterranean Sea.
I knew that. I was just testing Gina.
We should have put the map up on the screen.
I still couldn't point it out.
So tell us, what brings you here to America?
Yeah, so I'm part of a program that has brought 60 fellows from different European countries to the US, and I'm really enjoying my time here. I got connected to your company, and I love your work. I love what you do. I work with kids as well, so actually it's been a great ride, and I'm waiting to come back actually.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit about your company, StarKid Universe.
So what we do is we integrate breathing exercises into kids' cartoons. We make animations and videos for kids to learn when is the appropriate time for them to make a deep breath, to relax, as these can really help their anxiety, their overall mental health, and we've seen this work time and times again. And we're trying to also do it here with you at Compleat KiDZ.
So when is a good time for a kid to do a breathing exercise?
Yeah, Bob needs this information.
I'm asking for a friend.
But in fact, everybody needs this. I feel like every time you feel kind of like tense, either maybe from a social, maybe you're at a social event, or you're maybe not as confident, you're maybe a bit shy, or you just like want to
Maybe
perform.
a difficult coworker, you think maybe might trigger that?
Yeah, every time you get triggered.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
I am triggered personally.
Maybe I should breathe now.
Yeah, every time we get triggered. I mean, it helps a lot just to like calm your nervous system down, as like this deep belly breathing, just like exercises, so simple that you can implement so easily into your day-to-day life. It's basically hitting some of the nerves. So it's parasympathetic nervous system that gets triggered, and in turn it calms you down. So that's how it works.
And you've been here working with Compleat KiDZ, so you came over with this program, and now you got hooked up with us, and you've been, I know this, I'm telling my audience, that you have been working in the actual clinics with some of the kids, just trying to introduce some of these techniques to both the kids and to the therapists. So just give us a brief overview about, what you're doing with, in our clinics with these techniques.
Yeah, it's I'm really honored actually to be here, because just like seeing kids taking the exercises and learning about them, and I feel it's not helping just kids, but also the therapists themselves, as like everyone who is like takes one moment, of this, just like not to always thinking of how to react immediately, but just kind of like, okay, let's just take one moment to stop what we're doing. It can really affect our mood in the long run. So I feel like your therapists here actually know about mindfulness already. So mindfulness is nothing new per se. It's I've heard there are, around 10,000 scientific articles peer-reviewed articles written about mindfulness just in the past 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's something that's becoming more and more mainstream, I would say, especially every time I talk to therapists, I feel like I get an instant positive feedback about it, kind of like, wow, yeah, we're trying it, it works. So even some schools, especially here in the US, you tend to experiment with these things a lot, and I've seen it work wonders. So basically, what we've been doing here is I have some of my props, I have some of my puppets that I feel like are a very fun way for kids to start learning about these techniques. And at home, mostly I am integrating these into our digital products and also books.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
we have a show and tell.
yes, so this is basically our first sample. The book is going to be finished in about 1 month or so, and it's about stage fright, and it's called Forest Circus, and it features like our 4 characters that are basically our, let's say, mindfulness heroes. So the characters are basically maybe a bit shy, and they don't maybe necessarily want to, take the stage from the get-go. So before that, they calm themselves down, and they do a few deep breaths, and it's all guided. So it's basically, when a parent reads that to the kid. There are short, let's call them meditation sessions that kids really enjoy. So this is the nice part, to kind of like combine it with something fun and interactive. So kids don't feel like they're in school or something, but they are learning some really important coping techniques that they can then use for the rest of their lives.
And as parents, if they wanted to get, I know it's not ready yet, but if they did want to get that, where would they go?
Oh, for sure. So they go to our website, StarKidUniverse.com.
Okay.
And we have there a bunch of things. Also, the book is kind of like ready. It's advertised, and it's going to be, when it's ready, you can be notified, and be welcome to also kind of like subscribe for the newsletter, because like I feel like we are sharing a lot of things.
That's awesome. I love how it's something that could benefit all kids, with or without special needs. Because a lot of our kids with special needs, they might have difficulty communicating their wants and needs. And so it's really frustrating. And so, it leads to tantrums and meltdowns. And, it's very overwhelming sensory-wise for a lot of our kids. And, something as simple as breathing, it takes out, needing to use words. I've seen you like modeling it to kids, and, they're able to like pick up on that simple breathing in and breathing out.
Wow, that's really great to hear,
Yeah.
because like we've been working with different kids. So my background, I worked with kids for 6 years, and I'm training, basically my mindfulness training comes from Thailand. So I have lots of experiences, but for me, this was the first time to really work with kids on the spectrum. So it was really nice exactly to see their reactions, how they learn. Some kids have even went so far that the second day of their introduction, they already spoke to their parents about it, and they're showing exercise to other people. So I think it's been a success, and I'm loving this feedback that it can just grow from here. And as you said before, all these emotional problems that actually everyone has, right? Just like maybe some kids are maybe more sensitive and they feel all of these sensations more, and it's harder. I see them struggling with just like processing all of that. And I feel like a deep breath is kind of like, first of all, it's very physical, right? So it hits, I mean, it's directly connected to our nervous system. As well, it's so, you don't see it, right? So it's like if you're redirecting kids' behavior into something, it's great that it's kind of like nobody really see that you are kind of like coping at that point. So it's not kind of like, you know, you do like a kick or a squat or something like that. It's it can be very subtle and kind of like you can do that at school, on the bus, or in this kind of sense, I feel like it can be used in so many different ways.
So I got to ask, as someone coming from a different country, where is the United States on the stress level?
Well, yeah.
It says it all.
All right, next question.
I asked ChatGPT, you know, because like it's a good resource, like for asking kind of like statistics and so on. And I was like preparing for a pitch, and I've heard that there are in the US about 24% of kids by the age of 12 are actually on prescription drugs. So I feel like this is a high...
Agreed.
Yeah, a high number. I feel like maybe for sure we can work on that. And I know that it you know, it's great that kids also get diagnosed. Like in a, you know, it's always good to have these you know, to see the problems early on and work on them as soon as possible. But I feel like the stress levels could be lower, and you know, this is why I also heard. So let's say people are maybe more used to companies like Headspace or Calm. They're very big players in the mindfulness you know, area, and they're doing so much for humanity to kind of like teach people how to calm down. And I've read also they just like during COVID they got just like more popular, because like even
Well, you
COVID,
have time, right? You have time.
we have time, but also COVID came with some stressful situations in families. So it's not just about work, it's also kind of like our mental health. Where do we put our attention to, you know? And even if we are like kind of like sitting at home, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be without stress, because stress comes with all of these pressures, you know, social media pressures. And I mean, at this point, we want to have it all, right? We want to have like top, you know, grades, top looks, top, and it's nice because we are upgrading ourselves, but it's also kind of like it creates this vicious cycle that we are not enough. And for kids also growing up with TikTok, you know, I mean, it can be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
That says the social media director.
I am the problem.
You know, if people want to, we did the website and stuff, but, you know, if they want to find out any more information, is that the best place to get in touch with you? Is through your website?
Yeah, I feel like you're also invited to follow us on social media, because We are just starting out basically, but we have big plans for the future. So YouTube is basically going to be offered for the kids. So the content there is like kids orientated, and we are planning also to do some music videos and fun things like that. But of course, also for parents, super useful informations also can be found on our Instagram and TikTok. So you're very much invited. And also, like, I really like to talk to people, you know, like we're for now a small company. We are a team of 9 people. And I have my co-workers are basically from all around Europe. So we're an international team. We do things in English and Spanish as well. So it's and as we are small, I'm really just like looking also to connect with people. So kind of like creating a community. I mean, that's always something, you know, something that feels kind of like homey. This is what we're going for. So yeah, please join us and let's connect.
Very calm community.
Yes.
Calm, but you know, kind of like with kids, it's also very active as well.
We know all about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you know, as I said, we have seen it somewhat in action. So for parents out there, you know, I would recommend you check it out and just learn some simple techniques to get the kids meditating and just relaxing.
I thought it was so amazing how, like, in 1 to 2, I guess, like, sessions with you, they were remembering it, remembering how to use it, remembering the characters' names. It's all very, very kid-friendly.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It would probably work on me. It's like you're learning to meditate, but you don't realize you're learning to meditate. And I think that's the key. You know, the kids aren't even aware of what's really going on in a good way, that they're learning these techniques without it being, hey, you're going to meditate kind of thing. So we always wrap up. And you're one of the few guests we fed it to, so I hope it's a good one. We wrap up with, if you had any superpower, what superpower would you have? Now, we've already talked about some superpowers. You had some superheroes here in your book. So what's your superpower that if you could have any superpower in the world, which one would you dial up?
That's a great question. I love this question because I feel like we all have special abilities and superpowers, and we just like can work on them to grow bigger. And they're not necessarily so imaginary all the time.
Well,
I will stop that. I didn't think of that. But I remember now that I guess I should. But I think I know what I will say. I would choose to telepathically talk to animals. I think it was kind of like I'm stealing the idea from Dr. Dolittle or something like that.
well, we haven't heard that one yet, so that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it can connect also to kids that are nonverbal.
Absolutely.
So I feel like just like, you know, catching on the thoughts of other people or animals would be very interesting to you know, dig into.
I like that one. It's a new one for us. We haven't heard that one, so it's a good one. Well, we appreciate you coming.
All the way
it's been
from
a pleasure.
Slovenia.
All the way from Transylvania, or wherever it is over there.
I've heard that one as well.
It's going to keep changing.
We will miss you. You know, it was great to have you for a couple of weeks, and we will miss you. And come back and see us. Don't be a stranger. And we're just a Zoom call away.
Well, it was great to be here, and thank you for having me. Yeah.
If you could cry, it'd be great for the podcast. That'd be awesome.
I'm trying inside.
Thanks for being here. If you would like to check out Yvonne's work, check out StarKidUniverse.com. And thank you for being here and all your help and helping our kids and helping us. And it's been great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
To continue the conversation, visit the links to our website, Facebook page, or Instagram in the comments.